this is what I get from Bitcoin. You know, people are so obsessed with the price, which is cool. Like seeing the price go up. You know, right now the price has been consolidating, and people have been freaking out because it was 58,000, and now it's been hovering around 45. It's been going up 45 to 47. I think it was like at 49 today, but it's been going around that area like it did about a month ago. That's what Bitcoin does. I'm not afraid of it going to zero. I'm not afraid of it going to 3,000. If it does, it does. I am not a day trader. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. For me to have to sell my Bitcoin, I have to take it out of the exchange it's in, the central exchange it's in, because I'm making an interest off of BlockFi. That's what I have it in. And then I have to switch it over where I have to go sell it on a different exchange. So that's going to take fees and all that for me to do that. And then for me to sell it and then have to rebuy it, and I'm going to have to have fees and then transfer fees and more. And so it's just like, for me, I just don't see the logic in me selling my Bitcoin. It's not like I got 50 Bitcoin or something like that. If I had a lot of Bitcoin, maybe I could see the logic. I don't have much. For me, it's not about the price. For me, it's about, because I'm looking at hold this thing long term. I get 6% APR on my Bitcoin being on BlockFi. So that means I get compound interest for having so I get paid every month 6% on my Bitcoin. So when they give me Bitcoin, they gave me Bitcoin last month. They give it first of every month. I'm accruing 6% on the Bitcoin I have now, so I have more Bitcoin than I had last month, just by the interest, right? So you're getting a compound interest on the Bitcoin, and it's just gonna as long as I keep it into this platform, I'm gonna get 6%. For me, it's not about the actual price. The price is, I like the price because I like to know that it's doing good, right? But for me, it's more about how much Bitcoin I have. I'm more interested in seeing how much Bitcoin I have, because it's very expensive to get. You know, you can spend $1,000, you're not getting that much. You're really not. When it's $50,000, I think it's like, I don't know how much it is at this point, but you're going to be spending a ton of money to get a whole Bitcoin, a half a Bitcoin, a quarter of a Bitcoin. You're going to be spending a good chunk of change. And for me, I can get access to get more Bitcoin, but I just don't want to over leverage myself. You know what I mean? I did leverage debt to get my initial Bitcoin, my initial investment. And I think it's good to leverage some debt if you do it responsibly. If you over leverage yourself and just go all in, and then now you owe all that interest money every month, it might not be good for the short term. There's the different factors of why Bitcoin is going to keep going up in price too. It's inflation, you know, and there's not an infinite amount of Bitcoin. There's only so many, so that makes it, there's a scarcity, so that makes it more valuable. The less it's in circulation, it's going to make it a little bit more valuable. Unless it's not circulating at all, then I think that there's a point where it could be like, if nobody's selling, it could be almost like kind of worthless, you know. A part of the utility is the circulation of Bitcoin. So my whole thing is, it's not so much the price, it's how much I can get. And like, I was gonna buy more Bitcoin, honestly. I was gonna probably put another $1,000, at the most $2,000 into it. If the price dropped down to like 40. I was even thinking 41. But I think that we might be on the uptick now. I think, I could have bought it at like 43, the top of 43,000, but I'm like, but that would have been the bottom of this bear market. I think that we're going to be going into a bull market now, and I think Bitcoin will probably go up. They're saying like 65,000, 77,000. I mean, it's going to have to go up. I think it's going to go up around there. I think it could go up. I think it could go up to like 80,000, 100,000 by June. And by the end of this year, which I'm hearing predictions, it could go up to 200,000, 300, 500,000. Some people are saying 100,000. I think it'll probably go up to like 250,000, somewhere between there by the end of this year. And if you follow Bitcoin at all, you understand that there's always downticks, when things go up. You have times where when you got something this volatile, people sell when people sell, and then they buy when it's low, and then it goes up and up and up. Yeah, but for me, I wasn't really scared about it dropping. It didn't really affect me too much. It's cool seeing like, oh yeah, it's hitting new highs. Like when it hit 58, I was pretty excited. But I didn't let the wind get knocked out of my sails. And if it went from like 58,000 to like 3,000 in 2 days, I would be like, whoa, there's something seriously wrong. But for it to draw back like 19%, 30%, up to like 40%, that's what it does. That's what this commodity does. I'm definitely not an expert, all right? If you want to hear expert advice, plenty of other people you can listen to. I'm not telling anybody what they should do with their money. This is what I've done, and this video is for educational purposes, because I don't want anyone coming back if they decide to do something stupid and irrational and bet everything like on a roulette table on 15, and they lose out and they try to sue me. No, this is what I did, and it's a little bit understanding about the situation. That's why I'm just trying to let people understand about the current situation and about Bitcoin in general. So yeah, for me, it's about how much Bitcoin I can accumulate and not have to spend out to pay these outrageous prices to get. Like I said, if you want to buy a whole Bitcoin, you're gonna be spending $50,000. You're gonna be spending more than $50,000 with the fees and all that. You'll probably be spending like $51,000, $52,000. And I don't even think you can even. There's limits too. My bank, I think I can spend about. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into personal details, but yeah, that's just there's a lot of fees and stuff, and I'm looking to acquire enough Bitcoin where I can take loans out against it. I can use it as collateral because I don't want to have to pay taxes. And another thing too, if I was to sell my Bitcoin, I'm gonna have to pay 35% capital gains on it on next year's taxes. And I don't like paying taxes. And for a long-term capital gains, I heard it's 28%. So you have to hold it for like a whole year. So if you're sitting here day trading, you might have made a little bit. I guess it depends on how much you have. But for me, I'm gonna hold on to my Bitcoin. Other cryptocurrencies, I'm okay doing those flipping and stuff like that. When I start getting like 10x, or taking out a portion of my gains and putting them somewhere else, maybe getting more Bitcoin. That's the big thing, is I want to get more Bitcoin. I think it's a you know, there's people that hate against it, say it's worthless, say there's no value to it, and obviously, like, you got to be careful about who you listen to too, because you listen to somebody that is like Max Kaiser, which I like Max Kaiser. You know, I like to listen to information and stuff like that. But you know, these people have invested a lot in there, like Michael Saylor. They've invested a lot into the Bitcoin, so they want the price to pump, right? They want you to buy, because then they get more value. The more people are into it, the more valuable it's going to be. And you listen to somebody like Peter Schiff, which I like Peter Schiff. I think I agree with a lot of things he says when it comes to financial. But what I don't agree with him is about Bitcoin, because he's such a hater. His business is to sell gold, so he's gonna hate on Bitcoin on every single way. And you know, I like what he says about our fiat currency, and he's a highly intelligent person. But when it comes to Bitcoin, he's a straight up hater, because he's in direct competition, right? He wants you to buy gold so he gets more rich. You know, he sells gold, so you got to be careful about who you listen to. And the way I do, I don't just listen to one person. I listen to a broad spectrum of people, whether it's about finances, whether it's about politics, whether it's about relationships, whether it's about society, whether it's about anything. I like to have a broad spectrum. Then I can come to the conclusion myself of what sounds the best for me. You know, there's a lot of people out here that are scammers. There's a lot of people out here that want to sell something, and you can see it. And there's a lot of clickbait. So, but there's a lot of useless information out there too. So you got to be careful. You got to do your own research, do your own homework, and find out what's best for you. For me, I like Bitcoin, and I think that's going to be around for a while. I like the blockchain. I like the decentralized technology that is not just Bitcoin, but I also like Ethereum and Cardano, like having the potential to have these decentralized platforms where I'm my own social media, I'm my own bank, I'm my own this, I'm my own that, or whatever on the digital market, instead of having to, I can only play PS4 games. I don't like that. I want to be able to buy whatever game I got and play it on whatever platform. You know, I want to play this game on every platform, or I want to listen to this song on all these different platforms. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just like, I can only play this game here on this only platform because it's a centralized place. I can play it wherever. You know what I mean? And that's why I like decentralized blockchain going forward. But we'll see, and this will be something better that comes along. But for right now, it's in the development stage. You got to be careful about all of these cryptocurrencies. Do your homework. There's some that are real legit. For me, I diversify. I'll have some here, some there. It's kind of like stocks. You know, I kind of look at it like it's Amazon and its early stages, investing in Amazon or Microsoft or Facebook. You know, when it was like 5 cents or you know what I mean, and it has a potential to really blow up. If you just look at it, Ethereum, you know, it was like a year ago, it was maybe like $250, and now it's almost it hit 2,000 last month. So I'm definitely not an expert, and honestly too, I don't need to know everything about these cryptocurrencies. I don't need to know the nuts and bolts of how it works. I'm not an expert. I don't. Do you need to know about how your email works and how your social media works, like the nuts and bolts? No, you use it because you like the utility of it, right? You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know how Amazon does this and that when you invest in Amazon, or how they ship. You don't need to know every single little detail about it. It's good. I'm not saying it's not. It's good to be educated in whatever you're going to invest in, but I don't need to know. I don't need to be an expert. I just need to understand, like, have a good understanding of what they offer, and what the potential could be. One more thing before I go is why I like Bitcoin so much is because only 21 million can ever be mined. They estimate 2 to 6 million have been lost. And you see how they're printing out the fiat currency like there's no backing. They can just keep printing it out like it doesn't mean anything. They'll do the same for their own digital currency. When America comes out with a digital currency, or China, they can print it out. Unless they do the same type of technology like Bitcoin, where they only make so much and they can never make more. But knowing these countries the way I know them and how they manipulate things, how they manipulate currencies and stuff like that, I suspect that they'll just go ahead and keep printing out currency or making more currency, making an infinite currency, which makes it devalued, less buying power. Yeah, you have more. It just makes things more complicated. It'd be much easier to go out and spend like $1 for a gallon of gas instead of, pretty soon we'll be spending $5. Anyway, that's it.